Greetings, Hallowmaniacs, and welcome to another video. Today we are going to go all the way to Lansing and visit the Mega Mall and do a little post-Halloween shopping. It's been a while since our last video, but I promise you today we are going to find some great Halloween treasures. So let's go ahead, let's dig in and see what we can find. Let's go.
So there's no better way to handle those post-Halloween blues than to go post-Halloween shopping. And we actually stopped at the Lansing Mega Mall in Lansing, Michigan, and we actually found a great variety of Halloween that was still hanging around.
I love this right here. Just when you first walked in, some of the stuff was actually the owners they had just for display, and then other things they had that you could obviously buy. But I was looking at all these great die cuts and like those little figures that would look like they're in the jail cells that shake the cages right there, and they had so many different versions.
Yeah, classic pieces, really, really cool. And I love some of these die cuts too, some of these throwback items. Here's kind of a cool piece, kind of like a fortune teller and a glass crystal ball type of aura here kind of going on.
And this is the prettiest good guy, shall we say, Chucky you'll ever see.
Man, Chuck.
But moving into the aisles, I love this right here. It was kind of more of a modern piece, but it had that vintage look to it.
Yeah, I was going to say, it looks like throwback to like early 1900s as far as the design. But yeah, definitely a repo.
And some of the great thing too, so if you're looking ever for some good deals, the Mega Mall will usually have a lot of discounts throughout the different booths. And, you know, here we saw some different Halloween figurines, and there was just still so much stuff out. And like I said too, this was filmed about like that same week right after Halloween.
Yeah, just kind of that post-Halloween rush. And we figured before vendors start yanking the Halloween merch, let's see what we could find, right?
I love this die cut right here. That's one of my favorite ones. I'm not sure if this is a repo or not. I want to say it's a repo, but I still love it. That's based off of an original design right there. And then we saw some of these classic motionettes right here.
Oh, I love the motionettes. There's a couple that we're on the hunt for that weren't here, but if they were, I think we would have snagged them up for sure.
Absolutely. And then they had here too, you know, different kind of, I saw the McDonald's pail up there. You're going to see quite a few of those as we kind of look throughout here. But these are great from the 60s and 70s, these old plates and napkin sets. You know, here's another one of those napkin sets. And I love the orange to yellow with the witch silhouette right there.
It's all about the colors. This vendor towards the back always has like really cool Halloween stuff as well. Freddy Krueger, as you can see, little Chucky piece. He always has a really good multitude of stuff. I mean, look at that, Freddy. Bust the hand. I mean, all kinds of really cool stuff here as well. You know, the ghost light up, I don't know if it's like a tea light or like a little mini light, but that's a pretty cool piece too.
Yeah, there's definitely, like Joe was saying, that back vendor has a lot of those pop culture items. This is from I believe it's 1986, but a Life magazine kind of ad that they had in one of their magazines there, featured, it was like a throwback, but I thought that was so cool. And then kind of moving on, here's some more modern Halloween. I can see definitely some blow molds that are kind of spread throughout here. I definitely noticed that little witch that we just passed up there, but this had a lot of, I won't say, but it's more modern. But I mean, it's kind of some are older, but here's the Casper. I love Casper.
That one was just released this year, I believe, right? That was a cool one. We snagged one of those too when it came out.
Here's an older one right here if you like more of like the 80s style, which I love these. That ghost holding the pumpkin right there. Those were very popular. And, you know, for a while, people were just getting rid of them. That is something that always amazes me with blow molds. Like, it was something that people wanted to get rid of. It just took up space. And now you'll see them in antique stores or garage sales even, and they're not those cheap dollar prices like you're seeing them. They can be 80 to 100 or even more.
It's sad though, but can you think of how many trick-or-treaters have probably walked across or past some of those blow molds lit up on people's front lawns trick-or-treating? I mean, it tells a story. It's history.
It does. And then you become people like Joe and I where we have a garage full of them because now we want them all.
The collection has expanded drastically.
One that I still like, and I see back there, is that big Blinky. Those flat pumpkin ones. I have a little Blinky, but not the big
The big ones are very tough to come by. There's no doubt about that.
Look how cool that one is with the ghost, with the pumpkin, the black cat. I mean, this vendor had a ton of cool stuff right here. The older and more modern pumpkin pails as well.
Pumpkin pails left and right. And look at that choir boy, jack-o'-lantern, paper mache. That's pretty cool.
This is like my dream cabinet right
I
here.
know.
Vintage noisemakers, the paper mache, like Joe said, the choir boy, that's an original one. I can tell right there. And you can even see the cutout in the eyes. That looks awesome. And then they had some candles here. I love that tall noisemaker. And kind of moving on, we went and saw some different masks right here. If you're a Joker fan, that was a good one. But here we had some more probably 80s or 90s cutouts right here. And I love those. Not bad prices either.
Good ideas on how to store those too, because I always kind of debate, like, do we start getting into those? How do you store them? Do they just add up? But I like those plastic holders. That's a good way to maybe store and preserve them if we do pick some up.
Yeah, and definitely maybe have some cardboard, kind of put in like you said, the plastic. That's definitely good ways to preserve it. For those that like vintage looking mugs, we saw some set here, or a couple different sets here that had different designs on it. This little basket right here for $8. That was pretty cute. Had the Halloween design on it. And yeah, I'm always on the lookout at just different kind of items that we can find that you could utilize, not just for decorations, but also in the kitchen.
I'm just smiling and laughing at that mask with that huge nose on that witch. That's a crazy looking mask.
I love this, the jack-o'-lantern face. But yeah, you never know what you're going to find. Just like you said, just with the witch right there.
It's just stuff all over the place. It's awesome though.
And a lot of the stuff too, sometimes you'll find homemade items.
I love some of the homemade stuff too, because I mean, it's unique. It's super rare. It's probably one of one, and it tells a story. It's what it's all about.
Pay attention to that sign right there. That is actually not for sale, but it was an old sign that they had, and it was right next to these Jack and Jill. Kind of remind me of little comic books, but they were from, I want to say, the 60s. And
yeah, I think it was 68 or something I saw on that. That's pretty old already when you think about it.
We ended up taking the one with the jack-o'-lantern on the front cover, but then here's some crepe paper.
I like that crepe paper. I thought that was a really cool piece too.
And that's a great way to display it, is actually frame it and have it in there, because that's pretty fragile items.
Oh, absolutely. You got to protect it. You got to frame it up, and you got to make sure you preserve it for the long haul.
And one thing I want to ask, for those that like to go and definitely collect a lot of the Halloween, the vintage Halloween, I am looking for it. And Joe, where are some of the best shows that maybe you visit throughout the year? I know there's one out in Ohio that they do, the Antique Holiday Festival, but
I think we found one. There's one out in, I think, Pennsylvania or something. We talked about maybe trying to get out to next year, and we definitely want to hit some of those up, because I mean, we love vintage Halloween, and if you can get a plethora of vintage Halloween all in one spot, that makes for one fun afternoon.
It sure does. A lot of eye candy.
So yeah, if you guys have suggestions or you have anything local that you would recommend for vintage Halloween, please drop it in the comments. We would love to check it out. And let me tell you, we took a little bit of a hiatus here after Halloween to kind of rest up after 31 videos in 31 days, but we will be back and better than ever in 2026. We've got some really fun stuff planned for you guys, so hopefully you're looking forward to that.
An exciting little new thing. I won't kind of spoil it, but something new that's going to be happening for the new year. So
yes, so stay tuned for New Year's. There's going to be some major announcements for the channel, indeed.
But look at this right here, moving back to the video. I love those little hanging, it kind of reminds me of those paper magic groups. We have one that's like a hanging phantom. We have one that's a witch. And look at these old napkins. I know kind of went back to that same booth, and I had to look at that again because I love the design. And, here you saw the Wolfman. They had a really cool just little skeleton right there. The colors were they were banging in this booth right here. I loved it.
Yeah, and some of those napkins, some of those other items, you just never want to use it, right? You want to display it, preserve it, have it look super cool. We're already talking about curio cabinet expansion projects here in the house, right? Because we've got more that we want to display and enjoy year round too. So
and shelving and
absolutely, you've got to prepare for these things. Yes,
if we didn't have projects like that, I don't know what else we would do.
Projects fuel the channel and the hobby going forward. That's what it's all about.
But we're going to show you, as we went down this one aisle, we actually saw an animatronic here on a swing, and it was just kind of great because I want to play the audio track with you, and you never know what you're going to find in the antique shop.
Swinging on a trapeze is fun! I was just imagining you up on a trapeze. Then falling to your death! Oh man, that's funny.
That was a pretty unique find and not a bad price either for $95. So
hey, it's animated. It keeps you in the Halloween spirit, and it works. So all pluses.
And moving along, I love the Goosebumps books, the old
Night
ones.
of the Living Dummy. That was the best of the series, man. I love that book. So cool.
And then speaking of like a different pop culture items, this is kind of also a different vendor all the way in the back end. Yeah, they have a lot of different kind of knickknacks, especially just all year round. There's pop culture items, but especially during Halloween, you're going to see more of those horror movies and different older vintage items. This kind of looks like that witch that we saw earlier.
Yeah.
Kind of like a matching piece to it.
Very similar. These guys were super cool. I like those pieces too. With the vintage looking pumpkin head with the outfits. Those were kind of neat.
Kind of looked like Mr. and Mrs. Halloween.
Yeah, it did.
And then, here it saw some different kind of tales of terror and the Vault of Horror comic books. And yeah, I love this. It was just throwbacks all around.
It's dangerous when you get into this because you start finding different collecting paths. And just when you think you've seen it all, boom, there it is.
But, as we kind of continue to stroll throughout the store, definitely want to thank you for tuning in. And sorry again about our little hiatus that we had, but we are back in the mode of Halloween.
Life's been busy. The Halloween love never left. It's just life as it happens, pops up, a lot to deal with, a lot to kind of get up and running. And now we're kind of back in video mode. But we've done a lot of planning for next year and kind of where we want this channel to go. So some great takeaways, and we're looking forward to you guys hopefully being along for the ride every step of the way because you guys are the best. We really love our Hallowmaniacs and really grateful for this channel.
And I think we're also going to have a couple different videos. I know we had mentioned about our Halloween decor that we just done for this previous year. And we can also say that we did just recently have our most recent Halloween party. We're behind in the season, but Halloween lives all year round with us, and we are going to share some great decor that we have. My Lemax Miniature Spooky Town Village. All kinds of great videos. But thank you so much for tuning in, friends. We hope you enjoyed the video.
Appreciate you guys as always, and remember to always stay spooky.
Trick or treat.